General Mosi's X account feed reads like a thriller script.
Exactly. That's what you have to describe his art. It as. It reads like a thriller script. Who writes like this? Our bloodline starts with Jesus. It runs through Muhoozi Kainerugaba. He produced Muhoozi Amon, who produced Muhoozi Museveni, who produced me. What?
According to the UPDF Act, the Chief of Defense Forces shall be responsible for the command, control, coordination, and administration of the defense forces. But critics argue General Muhoozi has overstepped this mandate.
That's journalism. That's describing the roles he should play in that particular position. But he's really messed up everything. And yes, indeed, broadcasting to you from these United States of the Americas, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might enjoy these conversations. I am the aforementioned Mordecai Morisa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Morisa. You guessed that right, live. Are you ready? Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Because I am. I tell you, I am ready to go. Ready for this project? Let's launch it. I immensely appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen. Those who support this channel, I immensely appreciate. Now I want to apologize. There's a number of people who have complained. Mordecai, you've made commentaries in Uganda, and I am from Malawi. I am from Zambia. I am from, what's another country? I am from Namibia. I don't understand. Look, I'm a religious follower of political events in Uganda, but sometimes it is Luganda. Actually, some of them have suggested, Mordecai, how about you consider closed captioning? That's going to take quite some time, but I'll try maybe in the nearby future if I have some people joining me. Look, this is a one-army team. I do the editing, I do the scripting, I do the research, I do the editing, I do everything. So if you want me to add more closed captioning, it's quite some work. It's going to be a little difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Let's launch this project now.
You're watching Mordecai Morisa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you need proof that those in power are afraid, they fear real journalism, look no further. About a month ago, after Nation Media Group reported a story involving Uganda's Command of Defense Forces Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the company was raided by Muhoozi's jackbooted thugs, and its operations were shut down for nearly a month. Now, even after returning to air, reports indicate that armed soldiers are still stationed at Nation Media premises. Yeah, some people have told me, I think I read from the comment section of the story, I did. They said there's still soldiers at different offices of Nation Media Group, which is really sad. That's not security, because that's how they will argue. Remember, when they raided Bobi Wine's home shortly after the election, they said, we are giving it security. We're making sure that nobody comes and, breaks into Chagulanyi's home while he's away. Guess what? They eventually left the premises and nobody's there right now. What happened? You had interest in making sure that you protect this home of Chagulanyi. So why are you not still there? The excuse they usually use. These are all tactics of intimidation. It's a message to every journalist: report what we don't like and you'll pay the price. That's pretty much what they're telling the people, reporters in Uganda. But here's the bad news for Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Museveni acolytes, stooges, minions, and lackeys. NTV's back. Yes, it is. And it won't stop reporting. Because you know what? This wasn't the first time, or this is not the first time Nation Media Group has faced pressure. It has been raided and shut down. And every time it returned, it reminded Ugandans what journalism is supposed to look like. It's not their first rodeo. No. Now, to everyone at Nation Media Group, this is my humble request, and so many people who watch this dot in the ocean of a channel, Mordecai Murisa. Do not back down. Keep asking hard questions. Keep exposing stories that do matter. Keep letting Ugandans hear every side of the story. Your professionalism has earned you the trust of millions of Ugandans. You saw what went down on social media when you guys launched that you're back. Go back and look at the likes and the feedback in the comment section. And especially in moments like these, independent journalism, I'm referring to tyranny in Uganda, independent journalism becomes one of the strongest defenses of any country that is on the verge of complete and utter falling. So please, keep doing your job. If telling the truth makes those in power uncomfortable, then perhaps the problem isn't journalism. It's what journalism is revealing. And unless you're telling Ugandans, hey, we're going to become a, what is it called, UBC or UBC Light. No. Keep reporting these kind of stories. Let's watch one of the stories that really triggered Muhoozi Kainerugaba again. This was a golden.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the Chief of Defense Forces, is the third most followed individual on X in Uganda with approximately 1.3 million followers. His father, President Yoweri Museveni, leads with the highest following at over 3.7 million, while opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi, also known as Bobi Wine, ranks second with approximately 2.7 million followers. General Muhoozi's X account feed reads like a thriller script.
Exactly. That's what you have to describe his art. It as. It reads like a thriller script. Who writes like this? Our bloodline starts with Jesus. It runs through Muzeyi Kabuguma. He produced Muzeyi Amon, who produced Muzeyi Museveni, who produced me. What? Is this a madman or what?
But one with real diplomatic and legal consequences.
Thank you.
The 4-star general, which is the highest rank in the hierarchy of Uganda People's Defense Forces.
Look at that. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is when he said he was teaching Kiswahili to the former Lord Mayor of Kampala after abducting him. When he says, that's coded language of, hey, I'm torturing him.
Script, but one with real diplomatic and legal consequences. The 4-star general, which is the
when you stop wearing a dress, I'll be waiting for you. What?
Highest rank in the hierarchy of Uganda People's Defense Forces, has faced multiple accusations of exceeding.
Today, I will release this idiot to police. I have run out of diapers. Never test me again. What?
Or violating his official mandate. As a senior military officer, his actions are governed by the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF Act. According to the UPDF Act, the Chief of Defense Forces shall be responsible for the command, control, coordination, and administration of the defense forces. But critics argue General Mosi has overstepped this mandate.
That's journalism. That's describing the roles he should play in that particular position. But he's really messed up everything.
There are several examples to back up this. First, the unlawful
receipts,
personal detention and alleged torture of especially opposition political figures. For instance, General Mosi in May 2025 publicly admitted on X that he was holding Kyagulanyi's bodyguard, Eddie Mutwe, who had gone missing for some days in his private basement, which was definitely outside any gazetted detention facility.
Exactly.
He posted photos of the detainee while shaved, claimed to have beaten him, and threatened further violence. The Uganda Human Rights Commission declared the detention unlawful and ordered immediate release, citing contempt risks. Critics and
I want to be the bearer of the bad news if you're not from Uganda. This man, Bobi Wine's bodyguard, is still under detention. Muhoozi never listened to nobody.
The Uganda Law Society condemned it as arbitrary detention, incommunicado holding, and potential torture. General Muhoozi rejected the Uganda Human Rights Commission's directive, dismissing the order as stupid and demanding an apology from the human rights body. Yet, his actions violated constitutional prohibitions on unlawful detention and anti-torture obligations as per the United Nations Convention Against Torture.
Now, that's what we call journalism I am talking about. They're not just alleging, they'll be like, hey, according to the law, this is what it says. And this is how you're violating it. That's NTV journalism. We are asking you to continue on this path.
And now, former Kampala City Lord Mayor, lawyer and opposition politician Erias Lukwago has become General Muhoozi's latest victim. He was detained by soldiers on Monday, 15th June, after preparing to serve court papers on General Mosi related to threats and the Eddie Mutwe abduction. Mosi confirmed the arrest on social media, posted taunting images and captions, and vowed to inflict hurt and pain and kiboko, or severe beating.
What? And of course, I'm going to say there's some people who support this man. But again, I reminded myself, these are opportunists. These are lazy men and women who don't want to work, but they would rather abandon their values and principles. He praises and reverence unto a man who is actually violating the law. And one of them is actually Alan Kasujja, a man who spent quite some time in Great Britain. He was working with BBC. He's now the spokesperson of the Ugandan government. He heads the Uganda Media Center. In his pursuit of appearing as the chief simp, the obsequious foot soldier of Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he's now started posting videos of Muhoozi Kainerugaba as he praises him. But there's something he does. He makes sure he turns off the comment section. You know why? Because he knows for sure that people like Mordecai Morisa are going to call out his opportunism, his intellectual dishonesty, his hate. I would call it actually hate. I was going to classify it as a disregard of the Constitution. But this is hating the Constitution. Let me show you. I don't want to allege here. Let me be NTV. Let's go here on Twitter and type in Alan Kasujja. Watch here. He heaps praises on Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Kasujja, let's see here. Maybe if we did this, is right here. Look at the Twitter hand of a man. Look, General Muhoozi unveils a monument of late Colonel Jonathan Yoni Netanyahu, who commanded. Then he goes on to make sure that he doesn't allow any person to comment. Then look at here. Then Asiye Chifanyi, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he turns off comment. There's no comments whatsoever. He only allows these people who are going to praise Muhoozi Kainerugaba. If you want to read that comment, a man of the people, the ceremonial uniform is looking great. Asanteni for these well-do videos through the summit. This is Kasujja, a man who lived in the UK. I can bet him all the money I have in this world, which is not enough, much, maybe 1 million shillings, for him to show me an incident where a citizen or any official in the UK government posted about the abduction and torturing of innocent people and how they were treated thereafter by their friends. But he doesn't care about the rule of law. All he cares about is heaping praises on Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Sad.
General Muhoozi noted that, and I quote, "I am proud of all the hurt and pain I will inflict on the criminal Lukwago."
That is being a sociopath and a psychopath, a sick man. He said, I am proud of all the hurt and pain I will inflict on criminal Lukwago. Lukwago had not committed a crime. His only crime was defending being lawyer of Dr. Kizza Besigye, who happens to be Museveni's political opponent. But he's referring to him as a criminal. He says, I am so proud of the pain and hurt I am inflicting on him. What?
Lukwago's case is similar to that of Eddie Mutwe. Military involvement in detaining a civilian lawyer for legal actions against the CDF undermines civilian oversight. Before Lukwago and Mutwe, General Mosi threatened to kill four-time presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye.
Come on! That's abnormal. That's sick. He threatened to kill, and he's still the commander of Uganda's defense forces. This one NTV is trying to show you that we're being led by a sociopath and a psychopath.
Who is in prison on treason accusations, and opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi. He also publicly announced that security had killed at least 22 National Unity Platform party supporters, whom he referred to as terrorists. General Mosi's statements aren't just tweets. They potentially violate Uganda's Penal Code Act Cap 120.
Those are receipts NTV's bringing out.
Section 81 of the Penal Code, for instance, provides that any person who, clause A, with intent to intimidate or annoy any person, threatens to injure, assault, shoot or kill any person, or to burn, break or injure any property, or clause B, with intent to alarm any person, discharges a firearm or commits any other breach of the peace, commits an offense, and is liable to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 4 years.
That's saying Muhoozi should be in prison for 4 years.
Repeated death threats against political opponents could also touch on broader prohibitions against incitement that risks public peace. General Mosi has also been involved in potentially unauthorized foreign policy and diplomatic overreach. Recently, he announced suspension of all UPDF cooperation with the US Embassy, accusing it of harboring Robert Kyagulanyi. However, he later deleted the tweets and apologized. US senators called for sanctions review.
He was under the influence of alcohol. He's a very, very big abuse of alcohol.
In 2022, he tweeted that, and I quote, "It wouldn't take us, my army and me, 2 weeks to capture Nairobi." Kenya erupted in outrage. President Museveni publicly apologized, and Muhoozi was briefly removed as the commander of the land forces, but promoted from the rank of lieutenant general to a full general.
Museveni, with his manipulative, stupid games, he removed him from the position of the command of land forces and promoted him to a full general of the UPDF.
Foreign policy is an executive function and not unilateral by CDF. Such statements can damage Uganda's international relations, potentially violating UPDF disciplinary codes and constitutional command structures. General Mosi supporters argue these are passionate expressions of a leader defending national interests, often followed by apologies or deletions when tensions rise. No formal charges have struck against the four-star general, despite petitions and widespread calls. Is this freedom of expression for a public figure,
No.
or a dangerous erosion of civilian oversight and the rule of law?
Dangerous erosion of civilian oversight and the rule of law.
Daniel Kibet,
That's what it is.
NTV.
Daniel Kibet, you did an amazing job. This was golden. Okay, the story was called, "Is CDF Muhoozi the untouchable lawbreaker?" Well, I want to tell you this. One of these days is going to be touchable. One of these days. Yeah. History has already written the path of all dictators. They all head the same direction. You can go back and read the history, unless they revise, they look at that man in the mirror and decide to change. But if they don't, the path is always the same. The path of Yahya Junkungu James Jame from the Gambia, the path of Mobutu Sese Seko from the Congo, the path of Muammar Gaddafi, the path of Idi Amin Dada. It is the path of Adolf Hitler, the path of Joseph Stalin, the path of Pol Pot. It is the same path. There's no way you're going to survive this unless you change. Dictatorship don't reign forever. It's going to fall in one way or another, and very soon. So, Muhoozi, the ball is in your hands to choose how you want Uganda, first of all, to remember you, but two, to treat you when you're out of that power, because you're going to be out of power very soon. Hear me now, quote me tomorrow. NTV, thank you so much. That was chef's kiss. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got an announcement here. As you know, the NUP, I love that bit. As you know, the National Unity Platform is going to be holding a convention, a diaspora convention in California. Have you bought yourself a ticket? It is 13th to 17th August 2026. The president of the NUP, Bobi Wine, and his wife, Babi Kyagulanyi, are going to be present, and other leaders from Uganda. Purchase yourself a ticket at only $300 and be part of this convention. And two, I started some fundraising for our brothers and sisters who were released from the prison recently, and they've been jailed imprisoned for 6 years. And we want to contribute to them as a Mordecai Morisa community. If you want to be part of that team, please go on and write to me on that WhatsApp below, Mordecai Morisa Live, and be like, hey, Mordecai, I would like to contribute. We are trying to raise some money and send it to NUP and hand it over to these folks. If you want to do that, that is the number, my WhatsApp number. You're going to have to message me, and then I'll let you know how we can do that. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Stick around. Bye-bye for now.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.